Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. 30, 29, 28.
27.
Yeah, I went ahead and started the show without our little countdown timer. How's it going, everybody? I'm Geoff Grammer with the Albuquerque Journal, and Sean Reider is sitting next to me, and you guys can't tell right now. Big change in the show this week. Sean is sitting over there this week, and he usually sits over here on this side of me. This is the first time we've had this configuration where I'm sitting on this side. Watch this.
Whoa.
Yeah, Sean is sitting. See, that's the problem now. So, anyway. The show's off to a great start. We're at University of New Mexico Stadium. The countdown to kickoff is now sitting at, you guys ready for this update? 10 days, 23 hours, 24 minutes, and 52 seconds before Lobo football plays again, because it is a bye week. There is still a press conference this week with Jason Eck talking Lobo football, talking bye week, and talking the big UNLV win, and I imagine some questions about bowl eligibility and other things. Sean, how you doing?
Grammar. Good, man. How about you?
Yeah. It is election day for those scoring at home.
Grammar is doubling up on the live shows today.
This is the mere appetizer for the day, as Dan Boyd hosted.
Appetizer? We're a main course.
Well,
we're an entree.
Not today, my friend. Today we got about 4 hours of live election night coverage with yours truly, the sports guy wearing the hat backwards, covering the Journal's election show live, and yeah, that's right.
Show the audience the shirt that you're not going to wear for the live show tonight. Wow,
that is talking grammar
branding.
That is.
Is it a little egotistical to wear a shirt with your own podcast on it? Is that a little?
Couple things I'll point out about this. A, I got the shirt made myself with my own name. B, I voted this morning, and the guy, you checking in, name, address, date of birth, whatever, all that good stuff, and then he gives you the ballot, and you go fill out the ballot, right? He's like, by the way, I love your podcast and your Lobo coverage. I'm like, thank you very much. And I kind of giving him one of these, like, kind of pointing to my shirt.
Wow.
And he had no idea what I was doing, and I was like, talking grammar. It's the name of my podcast. He's like, oh, I didn't know the name of it. He just got done telling me how much he loved my podcast, and I'm pointing awkwardly to my shirt like, Yeah, that was fun. I'm
worried about tonight. I'm worried I'm going to get like Wally pipped by Dan Boyd.
Yeah, Dan Boyd.
I'm worried like you're going to be like, why have I been doing live shows with this doofus the entire time when I could have been doing it with Dan Boyd?
Yeah, I mean, Dan Boyd will eat a grape.
He's got that. He'll eat a blueberry. Watermelon. He's probably already done that plenty of times in his life.
One of my favorite sayings lately, apparently, for those scoring at home, Sean has still not eaten a grape or a blueberry, but as we sit here today in the Todium Center at University Stadium, where the UNM Lobo football team plays, we are now covering a team, Sean primarily, I just pretty much show up for the show, who is bowl eligible.
Indeed.
Which means, and the big news there is that Sean now has to eat a bowl game blueberry. Probably a handful is what we're going to go with.
Pretty crushing news. It's not every time that a sitting Division I athletic director is sure to remind you and everybody else on X that you have to take care of that. But that was a wager that I forgot about, and it's a wager that I will be honoring, though. I don't know when we're going to be honoring it. Yeah. I thought there was a possibility it could have been today. Richie, what's up? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out.
I don't know how. I have no idea.
My mom asked me about it, I think, yesterday.
Nice.
If I remember correctly.
I have no idea how Fern remembered that video.
Probably because you put it out.
Oh yeah, I tagged him in it. That's right. So the bet that we made, and by we made, I pretty much put Sean and Fern into a bet.
Kind of bullied us both into it. Bowl game blueberries for yours truly, and then athletic director Fernando Lobo has never had a marshmallow.
No, he has had marshmallows.
But he doesn't like them at all. So March Madness marshmallows. So we really gravitated to the alliteration there.
And he did point out that if the Lobo basketball team makes March Madness and the marshmallow bet for his end of it, he says he will eat an inordinate amount of marshmallows. He'll eat like a bowl of marshmallows.
He might hurt himself.
Sean, we haven't decided yet if it's going to be one or at least like 3 or 4, kind of just a small handful, not even a big handful, just a small handful of berries you got to pop in your mouth.
The key update from not today's presser, but immediately after the presser, where we all kind of like eat lunch together, was that Jason Eck thinks it should be a handful of berries. Not just one. He said, I think you can do one berry.
Yeah.
So a handful of berries.
Yeah, this isn't exactly like Fear Factor. Like you're
it's not like I'm eating like a scorpion or a slug or something.
Yeah. Eat some berries, man. Eat some berries. So
we'll get to it. I'm just enjoying my last few days, my last few weeks without it.
All right. We will actually do some coverage here too. We need another player on the podcast. If that's basketball related, hopefully next week we will have. So here's the basketball. I just talked this today with someone. I'm a good talker. Lobo basketball player will not be available in the next week, so that means next week's podcast will have to be somebody else. The podcast out today that I posted last night is on the Mountain West preview, just with the season starting, team by team breakdown. Next week will be somebody non-player related because they play on Saturday. I was going to record it on Sunday and post it on Monday. Sunday's their only day off in between games. So a player will not be made available, and then they have a game on Tuesday. So anyway, next week I'll have to find somebody else, but I have some guys possibly lined up, and then the following week I should be able to get a player. That'll be, I guess, post New Mexico State game, which is next weekend. And there you go. You don't have a bye week podcast, do you?
I will have a podcast. Unfortunately, the original guest plans are not going to work out with the schedule.
Interesting.
So yeah, but I will have a podcast of some sort. I'm not wearing a shirt though. I don't have a Reider's Block shirt. Maybe I'll have to make one.
So what happened at the press conference today, Sean?
I think we talked a lot about obviously the kind of the fallout. Well, it's probably not the right word. Like fallout, it's like a negative connotation. But obviously, the fallout of New Mexico reaching bowl eligibility, 6 wins and all that, beating UNLV and all that. And one of the things that I thought was probably the most interesting thing, and I'll be writing more about it this week, I touched on it on kind of my follow-up from Saturday's game, is that there is a not incredibly likely, but a not all too unlikely path for New Mexico to play in the Mountain West Conference Championship game.
Still alive.
Basically, the gist of it is that they need to win out. They need to take care of business against Colorado State, Air Force, and San Diego State. They need Boise State to lose some other games. They could use some losses from Hawaii, too. Fresno State is also a really weird possibility, but kind of there is a path for it to be a real possibility in the coming weeks if they take care of business. And Eck was posed a question today that, hey, like there is a possibility. Is that something you guys are talking about? Do you address it with the team? And he said, we are not even touching that. We are not discussing it. Because he is right when he says it is, they don't control their own destiny. If they win out, they're going to have a pretty interesting chance. But there's a world where they win out and because Boise or whatever kept winning and all that as well, where they wouldn't be able to make it in and all that as well. So I do think it's a very interesting possibility. I'll run through it more in the story later today. But yeah, that was kind of the main takeaway I had on that. Other than that, it's going to be a big recruiting week for them. All bye weeks are, big recruiting weeks for, a lot of college football teams and all that as well. So they're going to be hitting the road. Some coaches making it happen. High school JUCO ranks as well. I'll have some stuff in recruiting also out this week as well. But other than that, they're taking it easy this week. Only 2 practices. They really want to rest some guys up and make sure some guys are good to go. No real updates on injured guys, but kind of don't really need the updates at this point, honestly. You still have basically a full week until the next time we would ask that question again. So, yeah, kind of a quieter press conference, but you kind of expect that. A bye week where there's a lot of there's no bad vibes around this program right now. They're taking care of business and kind of the, it feels like that 2-game skid, San Jose State and Boise State, where we're all kind of saying like, oh, were they really as good as we kind of thought?
I never said that.
Kind of gone. Were we misled?
By the local reporter?
Misled by our eyes?
I will say, like, college athletics, and it's not just a college football thing, but, like, the vast majority of programs are a week-to-week team. I mean, game-to-game, like, program, like, you can look really bad and barely beat Nevada, and people wonder, wow, how good a team is this? And then you can lose the Division II Hawaii Pacific and still be a Mountain West contender maybe. So
you can get dragged off the court.
Yeah, get dragged off the court.
That was nature to you, guy.
I will pull.
Jason, I did get a kick out of that video. We did show that to him.
I will pull that up here during the show at some point. But look. So the Lobos are bowl eligible. They're feeling good. Their bye weeks comes at a good time every time. It seems like for a coach. I don't know that a coach. I don't honestly recall. Certainly a very small number, but I don't recall a coach ever saying the bye week's at a bad time. I mean. Like when a schedule comes out, sometimes you'll hear a coach say,
but it's never ever in the season. Like, oh man, like I kind of wish we were playing this week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so let's get to some of these other comments here.
Actually, we'll get to it. When will the 2026 Mountain West football schedule be released? Or do we already know which teams will get to schedule a fifth non-conference game? If UNM goes to the island, do you think Lobo will schedule a fifth? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do it last time around, but that was obviously with Eddie and then Bronco. So that was a little bit different situation and all that as well. The do we have is 2026? No, it's not obviously. But no, I don't know when it's going to be out. I will be contacting the league about some other unrelated stuff that isn't quite related to this, but I can't ask this question to the league this week.
Yeah, and I don't know how that used to work. When the Hawaii part of the schedule, you probably did have to know in advance because non-conference games you need to schedule so far out. Good question. Desert Lobo 72 on YouTube. Timothy Fuller is checking in from the banks of the Red Sea.
Let's go! Hell yeah, Timothy. That rocks.
Geoff is in on X. We called it. Lobstein fake run then pass happened for a touchdown, no less.
Yeah, that was good. That was some good stuff from Lobstein on that play.
Thank you,
Simon Mappa. What's going on? What's going on?
So Boise lost to Fresno.
Got stopped 30-7. Lost his starting quarterback. We don't know how long that's going to be.
Bad. I mean, it was just a one Saturday afternoon kind of thing, but that makes for a bad week in Boise, right?
Do you know the last time a team won a regular season game on the blue? A team coming into the blue?
No, it's been a while. I'm guessing
2015.
Ooh, who did it then?
You're not gonna believe this, but
was it the night of the kick heard around the world?
It was the night of the kick heard around the world. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I'd call it that.
Okay.
I will tell you what else is going on in Boise. They lost last night. The basketball team, we're talking now, lost to Division II Hawaii Pacific. Division II basketball programs often don't travel with trainers. And when that happens,
you do have to spread out the training staff. And, of course, Matty Richardson, Broncos athletic trainer, out to help him out. And you hope this is just a cramp, of course, Brian. I know you've been there before.
Yeah, it looks like it. You can actually just
that
see
is the Boise State trainer.
You can see his
pulsing
right there. That is
helping the Hawaii Pacific basketball player who's cramping up, and the announcers talking about you can actually see the calf muscle cramping. And they had a game to play. All right, look, as you can tell in this clip, it is 6 points. 79-73 Hawaii Pacific with a minute 48 left in the game at Boise, and like they did not want to slow the game down at that moment. Boise apparently had stuff to do,
so they do have to spread out.
Sure enough, this guy is cramping, and as you can tell, the trainer, the teammates out there, and the assistant coach came out there, and then from the other end of the court, from the Boise bench, comes the Boise trainer to help. And here's what she does.
You can see his calf just pulsing.
She literally
there. That is
dragged the guy off the court.
And that HBU coach kind of came like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, did you notice he's hurt? So, all right.
Awesome stuff. Only in college basketball.
And other things. Maybe? No?
Maybe not. I don't know.
All right. What else we got here? Good. We got Timothy Fuller in with the Act of Wisconsin. We can cover that.
I think that job needs to open first before we can really. I got an email from a fan this week, and they were asking me like, "With Wisconsin open, you think he leaves?" The job is not open. Like we have been talking about it, like it probably will open, could open. I don't know if it's going to open though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yes, Timothy, Act of Wisconsin.
We will see.
Geoff, this basketball schedule is so bad, I don't want to buy season tickets. It's okay. They've sold 8,500 of them. They're doing good, bigger than even last year, Patino's fourth year. 8,200 53 last year, 85, 23, something like that this year.
It's right on my tongue.
Yeah. And you can't convince me UNM can't get U of A, Texas Tech, or BYU. Big schools don't play nobodies either. So I happen to have U of A, Texas Tech, and BYU schedule up on my screen over here. And guess what? Not a single one of them play a road game in non-conference. Not one that's not affiliated with the Big 10, Big 12 Challenge or UConn. BYU and Texas Tech both have home and homes with UConn.
True road game either, because BYU played in Vegas last night, right? And
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I mean, look, Timothy, I don't know how long you've been a Lobo fan. I'm guessing probably not that long. But yeah,
Whoa.
well, if you're saying UNM can't get U of A, Texas Tech, and BYU, that has been decades in the making that like UNM calls every year those schools, and they would love to have a home and home with any of those teams. Now, could they go and be bought? Yeah, they could do a bye game, I suppose, with some of these schools. But even then, bye games go to East Texas A&M's, who the Lobos open with tomorrow. And they don't go to programs that are coming off a second round of the NCAA tournament usually. So, yeah, it is actually a swing and a miss, I suppose, every single offseason, be it Patino, Paul Weir, Craig Neal, Steve Alford. None of them are getting these games. Now, I will – with one exception, I will say that U of A and Sean Miller did a home and home with regional teams UTEP, New Mexico, and New Mexico State as well. About 8 years ago, they started all three of those regional schools in the Rio Grande corridor, and Sean Miller did a home and home with all of them because I did cover one game at U of A with Craig Neal's final year in Tucson, and then the following year, Paul Weir's first year as Lobo coach, U of A was here. So 2016 was the last time one of those schools was willing to come to the pit in a non-conference game. I wish I could tell you otherwise. I wish I was covering those kind of games in non-conference, but I do. I would ask you to tell me what top 25 team has a true road game other than home and homes that UConn, Texas Tech, and UConn and BYU currently have. They don't have it.
Beats the heck out of me. Yeah. Beats the heck out of me.
Tommy Jones in on YouTube. Hey guys, great show. Was the Boise State loss last night the worst basketball loss by a Mountain West team in conference history? I can't think of anything worse.
First off, Tommy, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you.
There's I'm sure there's been worse, man. I can think of something, right? It's got to have been worse.
Who did UNLV lose to?
I mean, they
2 years ago.
Southern,
even a year ago.
But that was a Division I at least.
Yeah,
mean, it was Southern, but like
this is weird because everybody's saying like it's not a quad 4 loss. I mean, we can joke about quad 5.
Yeah,
but it's not going to show up on the net and other metrics.
Yeah, and there's some David Warlock, the NCAA media guy, is sort of I won't say on the rampage, but kind of on a.
He's going after Rocco Miller.
Yeah, he's going after Rocco Miller and Evan Mia. I just know him as Evan Mia. But
Jesus Christ.
Evan Mia. What's his last name?
I'm going to hang you out to dry.
Evan Mia. The guy has a great website. Check it out, evanmia.com. Anyway, the David Warlock's kind of correcting them, but not really correcting them. Both of them said this won't affect their tournament resume, and it won't affect their net. That is accurate. Well, I guess resume is a catch-all kind of phrase. It does show up on their team sheet, but that's because every team has information like their schedule. Yeah. Their team name, their team coach's name, stuff like that doesn't affect whether or not they get into March Madness, but it does show up on the team sheet. So it's there, but the team sheet also has 27 metrics that a Division II loss doesn't affect in any way. It has 4 quadrants kind of sorting the games. Are they good games, bad games, or good games, decent games, bad games, or really bad games? It doesn't even show up on the really bad game because Division II games do not show up in any metric that the team sheet has. So Boise State losing to a Division II team is horrible for perception, and humans on the selection committee won't forget it. They'll know about it, but there is nothing in the computer metrics or the team sheets that it actually affects because Division II games do not actually get factored into any of the formulas, any of the metrics.
I did see some people on Twitter kind of last night saying like, in March, the committee's not going to remember this. No, I think they will remember it. Like, will it truly affect them in a major sense? We'll see. But yeah.
I'm nervous about basketball, Geoff. This doesn't look great. Why? They haven't played a game yet.
Oh, grammar. Come on.
They haven't played a game yet.
No, I don't know. I think it's fair to say that they haven't played a game yet, but I think it's I don't agree. I don't know if I agree with with Timothy's criticism specifically, because I don't know what they are. But yeah, I mean, fans have seen them play,
and they had a Division I win of 10 points.
Yeah,
with the great defense.
I do think reading into NAU's loss last night to Drake or whatever
on the road when they were up 10 in the second half.
I think some of that's a little silly, but I don't know. It comes with the territory. I don't know what to say, man.
I have never seen a fan base act the way that this fan base has this preseason about exhibition games because they don't like the D2 talent that this program seems to have.
I'm just kind of stoking this.
And we just got done talking about a D2 team beating Boise State. Like games, anything can happen this time of year, all that kind of stuff. I won't name the person I've had this conversation with, but a certain level of almost borderline arrogance to some we deserve better than this. Like the guy was a hot commodity coach for a reason. He didn't lose to Northern Arizona. He does have 14 new players, and he was picked 5th. Like, what expectations are there other than beating a Northern Arizona team by 10? Like, why is that the worst thing in the world?
How often has football been the golden child in the Lobo family at this point in the
year? It's weird, man. It is a weird vibe right now.
Pretty crazy.
What's up with the quarterback at Boise?
Yeah, I was trying to find an update before today's press conference. Danielson just said he was going to be out for a while. I don't know if Danielson did a media available this week because they're on a bye as well. But it didn't look awesome. He did come back out on crutches, so we will kind of see. I'm very interested in that update because obviously that is something that could affect Boise. Affect UNM if Madsen is not available to go, and they do have to rely on Max Cutforth down the stretch.
Yeah, I think too that the Boise situation is. Look, if they missed their quarterback, and if you're telling me that Maddox Madsen was the only reason they're the best team in the league up until that point, up until that game on Saturday, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that was the reason they were the best team.
Yeah,
like that was a bad game all around, and it wasn't just quarterback related. Now it's easy to chalk it up at why did we lose? Why did we lose? Like fans, and sometimes media get caught up sometimes trying to find the one reason something happened. A
lot of times it just isn't one thing.
Yeah. I mean, and that said, they're going to be a really good team going forward, no matter who their quarterback is. Now they might not be as good, but like Maddox Madsen wasn't the difference between them being good and bad. He was a part of it.
I do think there is something to in the Fresno game. It looked like a much steeper drop off.
Yeah,
truly, and I do think there is something to to Boise State fans being like, well, why did we not get a guy in the portal or do it have some form of insurance policy? And I do think that's fair to criticize. But sometimes it's tough, man. Yeah. I mean, he was also the preseason offensive player of the year. It's kind of tough, man.
And Boise football was probably missing Tyson Degenhart.
Yes.
I know their basketball team sure was. Yeah, Tyson Degenhart is in the G League right now. But Alvaro Cardenas and Tyson Degenhart, really, both of those guys are, being missed right now up in Boise, up on the blue and on the court.
Showed Graham or something on my phone. Sorry, guys.
Interesting. Does Sean have Instagram?
I do, but I don't use. It's personal. I don't do. I don't do work stuff on it. I haven't posted since 2021.
It's personal. Yeah, I dabble on all this stuff, but really just X is all I really use.
Okay.
The old tweeter.
Okay.
Desert Lobo 72. Could the Field of 68 marathon be something UNM or NMSU would be interested in next November? The problem with that
Jeff Goodman in Albuquerque?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is, first of all, yes, they could. NMSU certainly would be far more interested, I think, than UNM. Unless you're giving UNM a 7 p.m. time slot, they're still making. Like I said, they just had a season ticket announcement today of $8,500.
Yeah,
they're not going to play a 1 p.m. game and lose money. As much as everybody here is talking about, hey, save Eck, keep him, offer him offer him as much as you can offer him, all that stuff. The strides football is making are great. This athletic department is still run by the basketball team making money with home games primarily. They made $4 million in ticket sales last year, and they made $1 million in ticket sales for football. There's not almost any FBS football programs in the country that are getting quadrupled up in ticket revenue by their basketball program. There are still strides that have to be made here. So yes, maybe they could play a field of 68 kind of marathon, but like to what end? To get a few people on a YouTube stream to watch them at 10 a.m. Or would you rather have 10,000 people in the arena for a November game against East Texas A&M? I don't know. Like the exposure they get on the field of 68. Look at the teams in the field of 68 marathon. The field of 68 marathon were low majors, not even mid majors really, and it was fun. I watched a ton of it.
St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, they're not in a mid major league. That's for sure.
Bradley.
Yeah, same. Like which one of those is in a mid major league? I mean,
wow.
So,
you're yucking a lot of yums today. You are yucking a ton of yums, man.
I mean, are you really telling me that the Missouri Valley Conference that was ranked 10th last year is one of the certainly not a power conference? But yeah, Drake and Bradley are the top two teams from the Missouri Valley last year. They were playing in it, and
you're saying the A10 is not a mid-major league?
A10 mid-major.
Bonaventure.
Yeah, St. Bonaventure is in the program.
Okay.
Is in the program worthy of.
I was going to say, like, the A10, not a mid-major, even though the A10 has fallen on its face plenty over the last couple of years, regardless.
Definitely is. So right now, if anybody, for those scoring at home, the A10 is ranked 7th and right behind the Mountain West. So yeah, the A10 and the Mountain West.
I think Grammar got something wrong for those listening at home.
St. Bonaventure?
Yeah.
But the Bonnies aren't a program that are getting 10,000 fans in a game.
Did you see Woj got ejected? Kidding. Do not report me for spreading misinformation. Kidding. I could not believe the reaction to that tweet.
I thought it was real at first. I'm like, oh, check that out. Huh.
Kidding. Jeff Goodman, please don't hurt me.
The Riley Center holds 5,480. It's the 206th largest Division I arena.
Do you have the question on?
That is the no, I don't think I do. That is the Riley Center is the St. Bonaventure home court. All right, what question?
Oh, I thought you were reading a question about the Riley Center. I was like, oh, like so we got Bonnie's fans in here now.
No.
Woj is in here now.
Like there's a difference between
Woj out of the live show.
Yeah, they're not funding a football program through their basketball ticket sales at St. Bonaventure either. So that's the problem with the early season marathon is you do it for exposure, but you can't sacrifice making several $100,000 at a home basketball game.
Indeed.
You want better games? Buy tickets so they have money.
We won't buy tickets.
We're cheap, and we're journalists. We don't get paid enough to buy tickets.
We don't. No. Have you seen some of the? You saw Sawbell's comments about San Diego State. He's like, oh, like they had a promotion. You can dress as an empty seat and then come hang out, right? He kind of took.
I didn't see any of this.
He took that jab at San Diego State because obviously they're 7-1. Just improved to that by beating Wyoming and all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not a ton of Snapdragon was not totally filled out and all that as well.
He was doing Tony Sanchez on him, huh?
He was doing a little Tony Sanchez on him. A little harsher than that, but apparently some of the ticket prices at Snapdragon are kind of nuts.
Yeah,
they're kind of crazy. And I know that obviously you're trying to right now recoup some of the funds from building that place, but
yeah, you're paying for a stadium. That's why everyone who wants a stadium here has to remember, like, okay, where's the money coming from, and will it be expected to pay it back, or is this just taxpayer money going to build the stadium? And here's your gift. All that comes up because the pit renovation, the one people are upset about, but remember the pit renovation of 2010, UNM is still paying back. Again, more finances that basketball is covering. As ADs and even Board of Regents members have pointed out through the years, you build a new facility for the biology department, and they don't make biology department pay for it. They just give them a new building. But in athletics, you build a new facility, and usually athletics has to pay for it.
A10's not a mid-major.
Yeah, that's if that is how I said it, I apologize.
If the Lobo football team ends up winning 8 or 9 games, do they pass up the New Mexico Bowl for a better bowl?
It's an interesting question because it came up during the press conference today.
Yes. Jason X said he thinks it would be an awesome thing to play in the New Mexico Bowl and all that.
He wants it, guys. He wants it.
I know there are, and we have explained on previous shows, like why it just makes sense at this point in the game to play in the New Mexico Bowl. X did say, he's like, I don't want to go to the New Mexico Bowl like 3 years in a row, right? Which is totally fair. They would not be playing 3 years in a row and all that.
But they're trying to build a fan base right now.
Trying to build a fan base, right? And we've gone over the reasons why it makes sense in regards to this year, why playing the Mexico Bowl would work and all that. I think they kind of they need to play their way out more or less.
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing the Arizona Bowl really getting in the way of the New Mexico Bowl and having New Mexico here and all that as well. I will have a mailbag talking about some of these questions in more coherent fashion in the days ahead. But yeah,
I'm jumping ahead to this.
We are, yeah. I know because
I don't understand why
when we're still looking at each other, we gotta flip.
So
flip it back.
I have I run the show here. I run the the like.
You're out of line.
I run the little setup here from my computer, and my computer everything works. Everything works as is. The outside camera coming in, apparently, I can't ever quite figure out why it's mirrored or not mirrored and all that kind of stuff. But
you got to flip me. You got to move me back over. We started in the right way.
Yeah, but then
no, we're good now.
And now I'm looking at you.
Pointing at you. Yeah,
and I'm looking at you, and look where my face is.
It's fuck. Oh, excuse me. God, I'm so sorry,
but look
guys.
at my screen.
Oh, that's so weird. Sorry for noticing, guys. My bad.
Can't believe because there goes our sponsorship.
Sorry, my bad.
There goes our sponsorship. Richie's in. Would the football game get more traffic if they had bobblehead, beanie, jersey, etc. giveaway for the first fans? Have they really done that in the past? Have you explored that? So they have, but here's the issue. Their sponsorships at UNM usually are tied into like Pepsi and these other places, right? What the Isotopes do for their giveaways and what minor league ballparks do for their giveaways is say they're doing adult jersey giveaway night, right? And that's going to cost for the first 3,000 fans, you get a jersey or bobblehead, whatever. Say that costs $10,000. Whoever wants to sponsor that pays for the giveaway. Yeah. The team doesn't pay any of it. UNM has to find then a sponsor for one game or something like that that's willing to spend like $5,000-$10,000. They can and they have sometimes for like towels and all those kind of things, but it's harder to do those kind of things when you don't have a lot of fans. As when you need it most is like at times when you're only getting 20,000 in a game and you want to get to 25 or 30. Yeah. But the reality is like it's really hard to find a sponsor that's going to do that, because if you have sponsors giving $10,000 to your UNM football program right now, they're probably they probably have seats up there in the club level. They're probably year-long sponsors. One-time $10,000 kind of donation for bobbleheads doesn't happen as much at this level, only because I think they need football money, or they need money so bad in football that if you give them enough money to pay for the promotion, you're probably like a year-long sponsor, not just buying the bobblehead. But anyway, to answer your question, they've tried some of those in the past, but not nearly as well as minor league baseball, who has a long history of doing this too, right? But yeah, maybe a youth jersey giveaway would be cool. Yep. But it would cost a lot of money for UNM to do. That's why they need a local company to say, yeah, we'll buy the jerseys and you put our brand, you put our logo on it. Foot the bill. And you foot the bill and you give them away. So there you go.
Good question, Richie.
On the wrong side. Eric Olin having to succeed. Patino is actually going to be so bad for him with the fan base. I think it's 100% the on mic Eric Olin experience is not the on mic Richard Pitino experience. I will point out that Richard Pitino in the preseason went 1-1 and lost to Murray State.
Had a blew a 20-point lead last night.
Blew a 20-point lead.
That one out.
Beat Marist at home by 4 points. Mm-hmm. In a place that he's getting paid 4 times as much as he was getting paid here, so they have higher expectations. You would think they don't. They actually have higher expectations here for a whole lot less money, for a whole lot less budget and facilities and resources. So Highlands plays 3 Division I teams this season as exhibitions, but for the D1 teams, they aren't exhibitions. How can one team count as an exhibition and the others don't? So in basketball, any non-Division I team playing a Division I team, those for them are exhibitions because the D2 and D3 councils have voted to not count those at all. I think because it would skew the metrics so much if like Hawaii Pacific beating Boise State.
Number 1 overall seed.
Like, oh, they're the number 1 overall seed, right? Yeah. On the other hand, Division I teams are allowed to count them to a point. You're allowed, I guess you could schedule as many as you want, but then it's going to start hurting you and counting as probably a loss on the metrics and all that. You're allowed, scheduling agreement for the Mountain West league wide, I think, is now down to 1. It used to be you're allowed 2 non-Division I opponents in the Mountain West. You're only allowed 1 now. So the reason the Division I teams are allowed to play them in the regular season is for revenue purposes. While D2 and D3 schools aren't looking for that, they actually get their revenue from the D1 schools. I know New Mexico pays $5,000 is all for their non-Division I opponents to come play in the pit, whereas they're paying $80,000 to $95,000 for a Division I team to come. That $5,000 check for Highlands when they come in December is big for that program. That buys their sneakers for the year, that kind of stuff. So why it's exhibition and for one and not for the other, I think it comes down to revenue. Division I schools need to just put one of those on their season ticket package so they can sell more season tickets, and Division II and III schools don't need to count those games. They just need to go collect the check. Look who's in here.
Bring me my money. Mom, hi, Mom. Hope my 2 favorite sports reporters are well. Choice of lasagna soup or sausage and cannellini. Bean soup on tap for dinner. Walking the dogs while I watch. Awesome.
Nice.
So the weather's pretty good there. What would you rather have, man? Choice. Would you rather have lasagna soup and sausage and cannellini? Oh, excuse me.
You got an or in there.
Yeah, I got lasagna soup or sausage and cannellini bean soup. What would you take? What'd you pull, man?
I'll probably go with sausage. I don't know. I like lasagna. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think I gotta go for lasagna soup here.
Lasagna soup.
Yeah, I'll go with some lasagna soup. I would do some lasagna soup right now. It was presented to me.
Crush some lasagna soup.
Crushing some lasagna soup.
Larry's in. Larry, I know before I read what this is going to say. Geoff, we all know UNM basketball will improve as the year goes on, but they need to cater their offense to what their players are good at. Example, let's not have elite athlete Patton Jr. just hang out on the perimeter and chuck threes. So, this is a philosophical question that you can ask coaches of any sport, right? Do you bring players in to fit your system, or do you cater to the players you have? Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, because the roster was entirely new and he just got hired this offseason, he didn't bring anybody in who didn't agree to the system that he laid out in front of them and he thought that they could play. I don't disagree entirely with the premise that Kevin Patton Jr. seems to fit something else. He can do other things. But Eric Olin wasn't hired to do other things. Eric Olin was hired to kind of come in and implement his system. And as they have not yet played a game, I will give him the benefit of the doubt of playing a game first. We did talk with him this morning. The video is up on YouTube, the Journal's YouTube channel, if you want to watch the press conference. And he explained it pretty well. Like, they weren't just messing with rotations and pulling players that they wouldn't normally pull. They were trying some things that they knew wouldn't work. Credit to Nick Nunez for asking a question that solicited from Eric Olin a really good observation and good question. There is what Eric Olin told him when he pointed out that, hey, late in the second half, you guys had Uriah Tenet in there and Dayton Albury in at the same time, and you guys had been switching. And the way they were switching defensively, it seemed like, why would you keep Tenet doing this because he's only 5'11" and stuff like that. And Olin said in the exhibition season, we need to see how, when we're forced into certain situations that aren't ideal, how the other play, like how we can adapt to that. We got to test some things that we wouldn't even probably normally do in the regular season. And there were a lot of things that they were doing in the exhibition games that they know they're probably not going to do in the regular season. So again, to judge them on the exhibition when they were not only doing rotations you won't see, just to get some game film on certain guys in certain scenarios, they were literally doing some things that they would have immediately got out of in the regular season. They did them in this situation because they know there are times in the regular season that they'll be forced into them, be it by injury, be it by foul trouble or something like that. Sometimes you're going to have Uriah Tenet playing against a 6'5" guard. So let's see, when he plays against a 6'5" guard, how the other players can adapt if we're running this defense or if we're running that defense. And they did that a couple times against Northern Arizona that was noticed by, again, credit to Nick Nunez, that I can't tell you even noticed it happening in the second half. But they were doing some defensive things that they will not do in a regular season game. And they did them specifically to find out how, in an unideal situation, they're going to adapt to it. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So the point I'm saying there to this question is, do you adapt the players to what you're doing, or do you adapt to what you have for the players? in this case, I think Eric Olin was specifically hired by Fernando to come in and implement his system, bring in your guys and do what you want. And that includes Kevin Patton, who agreed to come here and play for Eric Olin's 3-point shooting system. That's all. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to defend all this. I'm just telling you that is what Eric Olin was hired to do. I think a lot of people keep sending me messages like they're shooting too many threes. And if I explain, well, that's what Eric Olin does, people take that as, Geoff, quit defending them. Like, well, okay, they're shooting too many threes, but they're also going to keep doing it. They're also going to keep doing it because that's what he does. Never had so much Aquafina in my life because of UNM. All right.
You're an Aquafina guy?
Yeah, it's fine.
Really? I don't totally understand a lot of the Aquafina hate, but Aquafina's it's probably the most polarizing bottled water option.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of like having preferences on bottled water. Like bottled water to me is just kind of bottled water. Like Evian spelled backwards is naive. I still buy into some of the whole like bottling water. Like bottling water is still just to a certain extent a bit of a, man, we can make money selling people bottled water. Get a filter if you want.
Canned water, I'm not a fan of. Like liquid death
and
all that.
I'm not a fan of
that
canned
to me
water.
is silly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do think that there's the bottled water industry. Like get your own bottle if you want to drink that much water. That's fine. But like buying a ton of bottled water, like I have bottled water from Walmart, and I have a case of it sitting right by my desk at home.
What is it, like Crystal Springs or whatever?
No,
that's like my
Walmart.
no. That's like the other brand. That's like my go-to at gas stations. Desert Lobo 72. Are football players required to use a mouth guard, or are they just part of the players'
That's a good question, man.
Riz in 2025? Because every time I look, they're just hanging off their face mask. So I don't think it's required to wear them.
Even the ones that aren't hanging, like quarterbacks just stick them in their face guard, and they're sitting there calling plays. Like, it used to be a requirement, well, in high school anyway, decades ago when this guy
clearly
played.
knee pads are not a requirement anymore.
No, you saw the Oklahoma kicker. You can wear short shorts now.
Oh my gosh, that was
if you dare wear short shorts, we wear short shorts.
That was great, and I hated wearing knee pads, but I think there are still certainly players that definitely wear them. But I think some of this stuff definitely helps a player's Riz. I don't even know if Riz is the right term for this. Well,
you want to ask me?
Oh no, I don't want to ask you. Actually, no. We're gonna stop. Aura, maybe. Yeah. I don't want to ask you.
We have not brought onto the show the time when me having a teenage daughter and Sean being far closer to her age than mine. Every now and then I come tell Sean about how
9 years older than her.
Yeah, she's 16.
25. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be 9. Okay. Carry the 1. Okay. And so sometimes I'd have to ask Sean if I was using words correctly, and if I found out I wouldn't do that anymore. I want to use them incorrectly to totally embarrass my daughter. And that's how we do that. Nicholas is in asking on YouTube, what's the starting lineup tomorrow? He did not tell us today what the starting lineup is. I will venture a guess. I will say it's going to be Dayton Albury, Luke Hopp, Chris Howell, Antonio Chol, and Tomislav Buljan. I think immediately off the bench, Uriah Tenet, Jake Hall will be really quick off the bench. Jake Hall in particular, because they need his volume 3-point shooting for this offense. Again, I'm not saying it's the right offense for everybody, but they're going to shoot a lot of threes. They might as well have their best 3-point shooter out there, and that is Jake Hall. How is recruiting for football and basketball going? Mensa is good.
Start with football. It seems like there's a level of contentment with this 2026 class in particular. Eck did mention that I think I know exactly which kid he is talking about. There was a kid that was committed to a departing school, a school leading the Mountain West for the Pac-12 that ended up reneging on his commitment and will be committing, I should say, to UNM. And I think I know exactly which kid he's talking about right now. So it seems like things are going well. They're definitely gonna. What Eck noted today too. This isn't quite a response to the question. They are going to do their final official visits and stuff like that. Push for Colorado State Week. They don't want to do it obviously with San Diego State Week the day after Thanksgiving. So they didn't feel great about just like asking a kid to fly in on Thanksgiving and all that. So they are going to kind of wrap up a lot of the stuff here in regards to high school recruiting, some JUCO stuff. Although they'll be getting more judo stuff later on, actually, and they'll be doing that, wrapping up with the Colorado State game as well. And then this week is really big in that regard. And then December comes around, and really January, because the window's changed. They'll be looking and then seeing what they can do in the portal. How's basketball going, man?
Are you muted on your computer?
Am I muted?
No. Is your computer muted?
Yeah, it's muted.
Oh, my little thing's coming on over there.
What's going on, man?
So on the eve of the first game of the season, there's not really, I don't want to say there's not any active recruiting going on. There's recruiting going on year round, but there's nothing on the horizon for any players that they're hoping to get committed or anything like that. High school basketball seasons are just starting. In December, you'll probably see a couple visits, but this is a program that while it does hope to get a couple high school kids every year, it will 100% be very, very heavily involved in portal recruiting moving forward, like it was this past year. And it just has to be. So they'll get a couple high school kids in there, but nothing overly active or worth updating right now. I will tell you that because he's a good friend of mine, and I have no ties that get me in any NCAA trouble. Come at me, NCAA. I will tell you that a good friend of mine since college, Brandon Mason, and a certain son of his by the name of Brandon Mason Jr. are still very much on UNM's list. UNM did lose out on a really good recruit in Joe Sterling last week, who committed to Texas with UC Santa Barbara and New Mexico being also in the running. A unique combination there of Texas, New Mexico, and UC Santa Barbara. There was one other program that I'm leaving out because he had a foursome, not just a threesome. But anyway, very good connections that Olin and his staff have had with a lot of California kids for a while, and that remains. Sam Stapleton and Tom Tanglewitz have some really good connections. Let me keep going. Michael Wilder at UC Irvine, his recruiting connections are really good too, especially in the Sacramento area and the Bay Area. And all up and down California, these guys have good connections. So we'll see what that means in the recruiting process. But right before the first game, there's nothing really to mention.
Did you ever read Meat Market?
No.
I reread it recently. And
I
reread it.
Look at you.
It's been a couple of years. And I would like Bruce Feldman to find another program and basically do that book again, but in this era of college football recruiting. I would like to see that.
Yeah. So we're
already bobbleheads.
There is one problem with a Geoff Grammer bobblehead. Like, so the bobblehead works at the neck, right?
Yeah.
That's where it bobbles, and I don't have a neck. So Sans neck, it's kind of hard to bobble. Like I can do this, but like the whole thing would probably just teeter back and forth. More like Weeble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Come on out to the UNM football game and get your Sean and Grammer, Reider and Grammer bobbleheads, and
get your Reider bobblehead.
Somehow they have negative attendance. Like we cripple the figures for them for the year. Oh my gosh.
Maybe. People forget UCSD was a better KenPom team than UNM. Also, do you think this roster is overrated or underrated? I don't know what it's rated, I guess, is how to answer that. Because some people have asked that very question to me, and like, I don't know. I would say it's underrated in terms of the vibe I'm getting after 2 exhibition games.
It's a different pedigree than a lot of like other rosters.
Well, they didn't get a bunch of 4 stars like they did with True Washington, and remember Donovan Dent was a 3-star out of California that was. You know who Donovan Dent chose New Mexico over when he came here? Boise State.
Was it really that? Because UCLA was making stuff.
UCLA didn't offer him.
Yeah.
They had a point guard. They didn't need him. And now they want him, obviously. But like the Patino and Isaac Chu specifically was really big on the recruiting front for the Patino staff. Like they're recruiting. They go get athletes and figure out how to use them. And that's in fairness, that's to Jerry's question, right? Like, do you adapt to your player or do you get your players to adapt to you? Patino's was far more an adapt to your player. Like, go get the best athlete and figure out how to use them. That was far more his philosophy than is Eric Olin's. Like, that's a little unfair to say Eric Olin won't just go get a really good athlete and figure out how to use them. But Eric Olin's system is what he was hired for. Eric Olin's recruitment and recruiting probably isn't what he was hired for. Remember, he did come from UC San Diego, a D2 transitioning into D1 program. It's not like you're killing it in recruiting when you are the smallest market team in the San Diego market. Like he wasn't hired for his recruiting. He was hired for his system. And so in that case, I think to answer the previous question earlier, like you make the players adapt to your system because that's what you were hired and you just got paid $1 million a year to do.
You talking about Dan made me think of this. Do you know what Maddox Madsen's 2 offers were out of high school?
I don't.
Boise State. You know what the other one was?
North Texas.
New Mexico. Take a long sip of tea and think about that, man. Take a long sip of tea and think about that.
You know who offered Ashton Genty before Boise State?
New Mexico.
Did?
Yeah.
New Mexico. All right, moving right along. Oh, so back to the roster thing. I think the answer to this question, in fairness to the program that is being built, is one that probably can't be answered for a couple months because it is a roster that was built for this system, and this system they don't all know yet. So, like, I don't think you can answer that in a couple exhibition games and a couple November games. Like, this actually was a roster built to fit a specific system, and it takes time to learn that system. If it was just like Duke, and I know that they have 4 5-star freshmen and a couple 4-stars and a couple really good transfers, I would tell you that roster is just great. I don't care what system they're playing. They have a great roster. This roster, because it was specifically recruited to fit a system, I need to see that system in place for at least a month, I guess, before I start really knowing that answer. I'm hoping Albury has better games. Yeah, I mean, he's 1 for 11 at Washington State and 0 for 5 at or against Northern Arizona. Now, in the 0 for 5 game, I'll point out he did have 10 points. He drew 6 fouls, more than anybody in the game. He had 4 assists and a couple steals, I think, too. But you're right. I mean, he hasn't made a damn shot yet. He's 1 for 16 in 2 games. You want more of that from your preseason all-conference player.
He's not quite, he's just got to see the ball go through the hoop territory. Yeah. He's not quite in that, like.
All right, during the Rocky era, Isleta paid for hats for a game. Today, the donation is better served if applied to NIL.
When you were talking about it, this was something I was thinking about too. Like, if you're just giving $10,000, you might as well just do that and build the on-field product. So,
it's a good question. Is like, what is best? Like, some poster giveaways the kids are going to hang on their walls. Do kids still do that nowadays? Like, the kids these days, are they hanging posters on their walls?
6, 7 posters.
Yeah. Maybe 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. I can't believe I missed that. I'm bummed.
Mountain West Pac-12 lawsuit thoughts? No. All right. I saw Cullen Neal as an assistant coach at Murray State this year. Was Ryan Miller on staff when Cullen played at UNM? He was not on staff when Cullen played here, but he was on staff when Craig Neal was here, and Bryce and Cullen were around the team all the time, just kind of playing their high school years and growing up their high school years in Albuquerque. They were around the team all the time when guys like, Rhino was on staff, and they know each other very well from the UNM Lobo days. That is certainly the connection, but did not play while Rhino was here. Rich Flores, is shooting too many threes the same as going for it on 4th down? Feels like these are guys. These guys are more aggressive. So I don't know, man. Some people think the 3-point comparison is being less aggressive. More aggressive is attacking the rim.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's weird to me because football possessions are just so much more valuable, right? Than basketball. They're just so much more valuable.
Don't tell Eric Olin that every possession isn't valuable.
I would not argue with Eric Olin about this because I'm sure he has well more constructed thoughts than I do. But in a lot of games, he is a smart guy. In a lot of games that UNM has played this year, like possessions have been really valuable. So, and when they've hit on 4th down, it's made it even better.
Any matchups to watch out for with CSU?
With CSU, I'm gonna be honest. I need to see them. I need to see them play like another game, frankly, because I don't really know.
They have another good tight end.
Yeah, but that's about
all I know.
They didn't. Long story short, they didn't look awesome against Wyoming. I think that defense is solid.
Yeah.
Relatively okay.
I mean, Ali Ferruggish has only coached 1 game at this point, so I want to see them play a little more.
Yeah, I think so too. Who did they beat last night?
At home, they beat Division. Man, who did they beat?
Adam, I'll have a more I will have some form of a scouting report before we get into this next week.
The biggest news out of first night of college basketball was that the halftime New Belgium beer promotion, beer for a year, that they do at every home game for Colorado State basketball, where a student from the student section gets picked out and they get 45 seconds to see if they can hit a half-court shot. And if they do, they get beer for a year, which I've been told is a case of beer a week. So they get 52 cases of beer. They're given a case of beer every week for a year.
That is so awesome.
And they gave away 4 of them one year.
We're out here talking about like hat giveaways, poster giveaways. This is what we gotta get. This is what we gotta get going.
You want the student section fill up every week? Beer for a year. All right. So anyway, to answer your question about Colorado State, who they beat last night, that I am obviously Incarnate Word, Division I team.
But W.
Yeah. So 98-64. Let's get some more questions here. JT saying, I watched the Broncos news with BJ last night because I love these live videos that you guys do. Will you do these live videos post game like BJ does? Poor guy got crucified last night.
BJ, poor BJ, man. Yeah. It's been a rough couple days for BJ, man.
No, I do a pregame show for basketball. I don't do postgame, partly because of the emptying the notebook thing I do, and the numbers. I don't know how big they are for a postgame when I have some other stuff I could be doing that do get good numbers, and it's somewhat numbers driven.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think they'll be pretty darn good. I think they'll be fine. Not that I'm actively pushing for it, but I think they'll be fine.
We'll see. Your live shows, especially post game, inside the NBA vibes.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Did you see the what they had to do since they've been at ESPN? They were talking about they had a list of former players. The last player to do this, and they had some guy's name up there. And Charles Barkley was like, I remember that guy. He's like some 1980 stat, and he said, I remember that guy. I wonder if he's still alive. And they're like, you can't say that on national TV. Like, I wonder if he's still alive. He's like, it's a fair question, right? And Shaq came on and said, no, rest in peace. He passed away. The next night they came on air and Ernie had to apologize because the guy's not dead. And they said on national TV that this guy died. So he was getting condolences sent to his wife and stuff. Like, oh, I hadn't heard. Oh my goodness.
Who was it? Who's that old Kentucky basketball player, Rex or whatever?
Rex Chapman.
Rex Chapman. He was on I think it was
yeah, that's right. What did
3 years ago? Who did he screwed up?
He killed somebody on the air.
No, he was like
he said he was dead.
He said somebody was dead.
That's killing him on air.
And oh my gosh, hold on, I gotta look that up. But
it wasn't Rick Majerus's Rudy Gay comment, was it?
No.
When Rick Majerus said, "I'm a big gay guy."
It was not. That's
a funny YouTube clip.
Oh, it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna find this. Thank you, Adam. We appreciate that.
Is the Boise loss a bad night or a sign of things to come for them? Man, that's a good question. I don't look. Leon's like him or not. Leon's been so consistent. I would say that they're probably going to be just fine. They have had more than any team in the Mountain West the worst Novembers. It is amazing how Boise State digs out of a hole every single year with one bad home loss.
Pete Gillen.
Yeah,
Pete Gillen.
That's right.
Pete Gillen.
Pete Gillen who comes to the games here.
Still working. Oh my gosh.
Back, Adam, the Boise question real quick. Side of things to come. So if you're talking basketball, I will say they'll probably be just fine. Signs of things to come for football might be a little bit more meat to that one because they did lose a quarterback. So maybe them losing to Fresno State. But I think you're asking about basketball, Boise there. All right, JT on YouTube. We could also have 2 first-team All-American Original Lobos. That is amazing. That is true. And they were pretty close to getting Yaxel, the Michigan transfer.
Well, the UAB transfer now at Michigan.
I'm sorry, now at Michigan. Mm-hmm. But he was here on campus. He did the on-campus visit here. Does Olin watch metrics for rankings? Were the metrics different before in his last position? Not to compare, but Pitino didn't like the metrics, but he understood them. So hard to read Olin because he doesn't like media. I don't know that he doesn't like media. He's still not used to them. He's been interviewed more in the past 24 hours than he was in 20 years at UC San Diego. I can tell you that much. So I don't think he necessarily dislikes the media, but it's very new to him. And I'm not kidding when I tell you he did not have a reporter covering his team for 20 years in San Diego.
There's not a UCSD writer for the San Diego Union Tribune.
The student paper wasn't regularly covering them either. Now, every now and then, apparently they did some stuff. But anyway,
Sports student media. Sports student media.
Yes, support student media, support local journalism as well. ABQJournal.com/subscribe is how you can support our print product or our digital product. Please do so. It helps shows like this.
Rest in peace, Pecan.
So metrics for rankings and that kind of stuff, like he knows about Ken Pom, and so does like they both open Ken Pom every single day, Patino and Olin.
Olin gets what is this Ken Pom thing you guys always talk about? What is that?
Those aren't the metrics that when I say he's an analytics guy, like those aren't the metrics he lives and dies by, like the rankings. He bases his formula on rebound rate versus turnover rate versus assist to turnover rate, live ball turnover rate, all these kind of things that you won't see on a box score. Like he's into all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And Patino Patino follows that kind of stuff too, but really more has somebody kind of follow that for him and kind of updates him when they're doing extreme whatevers. Like that said, like to be fair, and it came up today because we were talking about the Hawaii Pacific win over Boise State. Olin pointed out that last year he had a team at UC San Diego that had 6 former Division II players that finished 35th in the net, which was higher than any Mountain West team. He finished in Ken Pom last year 39th, which was higher than New Mexico, who made the second round of the tournament. But yeah, out of the Big West, Eric Olin's team was higher in all the metrics than was Patino's.
You had a good conversation with Brian Dutcher talking about some metrics and analytics at Mountain West Media Day.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to set me up with that? I asked all the Mountain West basketball coaches, what stat defines your team? Like if you had to boil it down to one stat, and I'm looking at a stat sheet in January, February, and I'm like, okay, this team is good at this stat. That must mean they're doing good. Or this team is really struggling in this stat. They're probably not having a good season. So I asked all the coaches that. And the stat that Brian Dutcher said most defines, the one single statistic that defines San Diego State basketball, Brian Dutcher said was defense.
Just defense.
Not a stat, Dutch. It's not a stat.
Just defense.
But for 30 years.
You mean like points allowed? Defense.
For 30 years, the culture of San Diego State has been defense. And every answer has been defense.
He's sticking to it. He's not going to turnover rate.
Okay, you're asking me. Defense is the answer, Geoff.
Defense.
I loved it, and I told another coach that. I guess I won't say this, who it was, but I told another coach that Dutcher's answer was defense, and he just laughed. He's like, "Yep, sounds about right."
Sounds about right.
Defense is the answer for everything.
Sure. This is an old ball coach, man.
We're not weird. No do today.
No do, man. You're gonna need some. You're gonna need some dudes later tonight.
Crushing the dudes.
You want me to bring in a Sixer deal?
Way to go, Hawaii Pacific. The post game would be huge for men's basketball. So they do have a post game show with their sponsor or their radio media rights partner.
We could probably
host it.
We could probably pick like a couple games on the schedule.
Yeah, we probably
doing every basketball game will be way too demanding on you, frankly, especially with the pregame show. Yeah. Like it's I don't know. Yeah, we kind of went over
yes
that a little bit.
Yes and no. It affects them. Like nobody's going to forget it in the world, the always accurate world of social media. Is Kimberly Eck the most visible in the community spouse of any UNM coach ever? I like how both are very active in social media. Makes me very engaged as a fan. More local coaches need to do it.
Jason Beck's wife, the offensive coordinator last year. His wife is also very active on social media, but certainly like head coaches' wives. Sandra Gonzalez was active too. Yeah. But I think Kimberly's more active. So
social media is only really 10, 15 years of kind of being at a level where we look at it to see who's active on it, right? So in terms of basketball, like Tanya Alford was very active in the community, and she is in Reno now too. Make-A-Wish Foundation, I think, is what she has going on up there. Look, others have been active too, but not on social media. So to answer specifically your question, visible in the community, if visible in the community is on social media, then Kimberly Eck is the answer.
There's a difference between, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, I mean, there are active spouses in the community, that's for sure. Yeah. Maybe not just on social media, though. Geoff, do you agree men's basketball needs to go 10-1 in non-conference to have a shot at an at-large? Fans don't want to hear it, but an at-large may not be the appropriate expectation this year. I picked them 4th, and I think the Mountain West will get 3 or 4 teams in, so I think they'll be right on the cusp. I don't know what the magic number in non-conference is because, frankly, I don't know how many good non-conference seasons I guess the Mountain West is going to have. So if the Mountain West goes in with a high net rating because Grand Canyon had a good has good metrics, and so back to the Boise State part of it, their D2 loss will hurt their reputation all year, but by it not hurting their metrics, it doesn't hurt the entire Mountain West metrics either. So, people that are kind of enjoying this as conference rival fan bases or anything like that, remember that doesn't hurt the Mountain West's metrics at all. So that's not a bad thing. Now, when you play Boise State, you're not playing a 300 ranked team. You're still playing a top 50 ranked team. Did get AP votes in preseason, by the way. Guys should look up who gave them those votes. So Olin is not Fire Grammar? I don't know about that. He might be Fire Grammar. He might be Team Fire Grammar. I don't think he hates the media, but doesn't mean doesn't hate me. I mean, I think a lot of people hate me. I hate me.
Jeff, I respect you as a professional, but I hate your guts as a person.
Yeah.
I can stand you.
Whew. Thank you for that, Jeff. I agree. Whew. I forget what the question was. How did I answer that? Oh, Olin on the metrics. Yeah. Royce is in on YouTube. What do we walk away thinking after game 1 of the Olin era?
That was an okay game 1.
Yeah. I don't know. D2 losses always matter. I don't care if the metrics don't analyze.
I think you're right, Royce. I think you're right.
The X have here we go. The X have their whole block flying UNM flags. I was like, what's going on here? And the response, this is Coach X block. I like that.
I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know where they live. So
yeah. The X block.
X block. Ooh, I kind of like that.
Block X? X block? The X block.
X block.
X box? If it's a cul-de-sac, but like maybe a little squarish, you could call it the X box. Man.
We're going to go right down to his office now and tell him all about this.
My family was trying to make a guess. If Jason Eck was booking a hotel for a family trip to Vegas, where would he stay?
A family trip.
That is an on the strip kind of family. Like
I agree.
Yeah, and not a ritzy one, not a trashy one though. But they're Wisconsin, Midwest. Let's have some fun. Kind of.
Yeah, they're gonna do something.
Yeah. Like I don't think they're going to like Excalibur and cheap like that down at that end, but like.
They're not doing the old Hooters.
Yeah, but they're gonna have some fun, and I guess all the casinos now are kind of a little bit upscale in some regard, right? But
not the old Hooters.
Not the old Hooters.
The old Hooters.
I stayed at the old Hooters once.
Did you?
I did.
Did you do
that? When did I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be 8-9 years ago now because it's not even around anymore, is it? Didn't they?
Now it's OYO.
Yeah. That's a good question, Larry. I like that. I like that question. I do think there would be some pool time. They like their pool time.
I could honestly see it, and not just because it's the place that I've stayed the most when I've gone to Vegas, but like I could see them maybe ditching the strip for like Circa.
Yeah, I could see
Circa with the pool and all that as well.
Yeah, some pool time. I think is Circa actually
probably get a good deal for the Mountain West.
And they like their sports too. Like, I could see them just hanging out in the pool all day at Circa and watching some football. An old ball coach.
Old ball coach. Yeah. That's the thing about old ball coaches, man.
JT on YouTube, I'm terrified the Mountain West that have second-year coaches. Sundance, group of players that he found days before the season started. Jake Hybrider and Fresno State. Forget the top of the league.
Sundance is truly an old ball coach. Like, get in here. We need you. Like, come on.
I will say times have changed. If Lobo fans are terrified of Sundance Wicks' recruiting class and Laramie and Jake Hybrider going to Fresno State. Those are good players, but like if you're worried that like you can't compete with those, like you're talking millions of dollars of NIL money here at New Mexico and not at those places. So Cell Block X.
Cell Block X. Wow.
Do you guys have a favorite moment for the football season so far? Also, what do you look forward to most or least for basketball season? Drive to Laradice. No Laradice trip this year for UNM Lobos. That's their one road trip that they missed.
Depressing.
Yeah, it is. I love the drive to Laradice, man. It's weirdly one of my favorite trips every year. But favorite moment of the football season from my standpoint is not the beat writer. I would say would have to be, maybe the chili roaster.
Chili roaster's a good shout.
I mean, this stadium getting packed with New Mexico State fans. Sorry to be the Aggie here, but like I think that was a really good moment for college football in New Mexico. Two programs that want to say it can happen, and for one day it did happen. And I like that day and that moment, and the chili roaster being a part of it was actually kind of as appropriate as it sounds. It was kind of symbolic. So I'll say the chili roaster and the symbolism of that trophy of that day.
I wrote about it a little bit in my kind of post-game takes. They wasted no time Saturday getting to the celebration, so they pulled the cigars out. I had a couple assistant coaches that I saw in the hallway really get into me and not like yelling at me, but like they were pumped. Jack Lang was pumped. Mercury's Flame was pumped. They wasted no time getting into the celebration there, obviously. Why wouldn't you? But I did kind of note, like, after the UCLA game, there was kind of like almost like an awestruck quality to like just the fact that they just did that on the Rose Bowl.
Look what we just did.
And like taking pictures, and they're all on their phone and stuff like that. And they were like excited too, but it was a different air. So being on the field and kind of like just like walking around with a lot of these guys and stuff like that and seeing that's probably one of the more memorable moments I've had on this beat.
I like
just kind
Jason
of like, wow.
X.
Like
Jason X comment about that right after the game was like, we're not Alabama, Tennessee, but there's guys in there smoking cigars right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And I asked about it today. I was like, did they bring the cigars that you know him, like and all that? So
what did he say to that?
He said he was aware of the cigars, but then he kind of got into it's so funny they had to go smoke outside. That is so funny.
So check this out: the bowl bound shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I found out.
Oh, let's go!
They were wearing bowl bound 2005 shirts. So
2025.
Yeah, 2005.
They just recycled the 2005 shirts. It's scratching like a 2 on each one.
So that got me thinking. Last year they played at Hawaii with bowl eligibility on the line. Did they have a box of shirts that are in some third world country right now, like in a village, because they didn't bust them out? How did that work out? So here's the answer. And we are hitting the home stretch here. I just realized we're at 2:45, an hour and 10 minutes in. Last year, so the bowl-bound 2025 shirts this year are a product and sent to the team by the college football bowl.
Bowl season,
because
it has the logo on it.
Yeah, so bowl season is behind that. It's not like one company or just the school per se, and they opted in. A year ago, read into this whatever you want to read into it, because I don't know what to even read into this. You can if you want to make a narrative out of it. When they went to Hawaii last year, and if they won, they'd be in a bowl game. There was not a box of T-shirts waiting for them. Last year, they did not opt in to the bowl-bound T-shirts. You have to opt in, and the bowl season people will make the shirts for you and send them wherever you're going to be bowl eligible, and you can put the shirts on.
I understand how they fuel a certain narrative, but also just kind of like knowing that staff and how they kind of like function. This is not like me like talking like negatively on them, like truly just knowing how they operated. Like that doesn't really surprise me.
I agree, but the poke the bear kind of see if I can stir things up kind of guy in me.
What is that?
Stir things up.
What was it, like a honey pot?
Yeah,
You're looking like a honey. Like it's just like
I don't
a bowl.
know. I don't know if you know this,
But it's not like a pot.
When I cook, I put my arm around the entire pot and then I stir it like this.
Okay.
And there are some people that think he had his mind made up before that Hawaii game that a win would actually have just delayed the inevitable.
Yeah, knowing that staff, that doesn't surprise me in terms of how they just kind of handle stuff.
They did not want the shirts there because they knew they were going to lose and go to Utah the next week.
Wow. Okay,
I don't believe that, but
wow,
I'm not going to let that get in the way.
And that's not, I mean, like it's earn not given program. You had to earn the T-shirts,
Given not earned. Yeah.
Truly.
When Alford left for UCLA in 2013, and they had a hell of a team.
You're having flashbacks right now.
Yep.
Taking it back.
Top 10 team.
You hear the helicopter
point of that year, and they lost to number 3 Harvard in the NCAA tournament.
Who could forget?
I don't. The next year, Craig Neal gets the job, and some players stuck around and made for a really good first year for Craig Neal. And their season-long T-shirts that they had made, and they were wearing like in pre-games and all that kind of stuff, said unfinished business on them. And so they got a little season-long logo that their unfinished business did finish the same way the next year, first round exit of the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
And they didn't really go back to the T-shirt game too much after that. But sometimes T-shirts can be a little rallying cry and motivation, and sometimes it can kind of backfire on you.
I don't like the Nike long sleeves that they give to like every team before the tournament and all that with like the same kind of tacky logo.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
All right.
Kind of the shooting shirts.
Yeah. Nicholas is in on YouTube. What does a successful game one look like to you? Also, what would the community define as? So the community would define a 20-point win as a success, I would think, at least 20, maybe 50. I will add that to me, a successful game will probably look like shooting in the 40% range, at least because they haven't done it in 2 exhibitions, and it's a team of shooters, so they better shoot better. But if they continue really good defense, for all the criticism that they've gotten through 2 exhibition games, their defense has been very good. Not just good, like very good. For a zone scheme that a bunch of newcomers have come together and done. Like, look at the shooting percentages of the 2 teams they played. So I would say their defense has been good. If they can continue solid defense while actually shooting in the 40s for a change, so that I think that would be success in my mind, because they still got a long way to go before they're a finished product. And every team does, but like for a team with 14 new players, they still got a long ways to go. Royce is in. I swear he's...
Whoa.
There we go. As well over redshirting.
I don't think he is.
We haven't seen him play yet.
I don't think he is actually redshirting. I think he already used his red shirt. But no, he's still around. He's 3rd in the quarterback depth chart. He still has his arm. I see it every week. It's absolutely awesome.
He still has his arm?
He still has both his arms.
It's a good sign. We need to win by at least 10. Yeah, I'd say a double-digit win is probably the bare minimum that fans would be would accept for East Texas A&M.
A 12-point win, but they shoot like 43.5%. Do you think that's a success? Maybe like if the defense was a little more leaky than we kind of saw.
That'd have to be a low-scoring 10-point win then, because like if it's like 65 to 50 and they win by 15. Or 65-55, like that would be okay, I think. But anyway, we need to win game one by at least 10. East Texas A&M, by the way, did play last night. They played last night, and they're traveling here to Albuquerque today. They beat Abilene Baptist, a National College Christian Association team, and they beat them 112 to 65 or something like that. Pretty good.
My goodness! You know where they're going after they play New Mexico?
No.
Do you don't?
No, I don't.
The island.
Ooh.
Brutal.
To play Hawaii Pacific?
Play Hawaii, but it's true now. You go to the island, man.
Interesting.
You go to the island, you can get it from anywhere.
You know who the softball coach at East Texas A&M is? We all do.
No, I know that David Bailiff used to be there. That's about it. Mackenzie Agnello.
Javis Miller, shooting guard for the UNM Lobos. His mom is the softball coach.
No kidding. That's
at
awesome.
East Texas A&M. I also guessed he would book Circa. There we go. I like that, Larry. It's upper scale, but Coach Eck also likes the taste of downtown.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's a really nice room. It's a good experience. The stadium swim is just objectively awesome. And I think it's a good balance. You can get down the strip and do stuff from there. But you'll also just have Fremont right there.
Fremont. Fremont. I like Fremont. The Fremont part of this I like.
Fremont, I think that plays, and I think that's a family trip that's kind of like a little more, not really totally family friendly, but at least you can kind of like
it's Vegas.
Take the kids like, oh, Fremont's here. Like,
last one, haven't heard a lot about Tamale Ponds. Well, Tamale Ponds is having better college experience than anything.
Last I heard, which was like a month and a half ago, it was pretty darn good.
A lot of people have asked about Tamale. You're not the only one. He is healthy. He's just not in the rotation. Jason Eck played big minutes.
Jason Eck played big minutes.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'll go with Eric Olin. How about that? Eric Olin played decent minutes to 11 players in both exhibition games. And his 12th and 13th players, Sir Marius Jones and Tamale Ponds, are both healthy, true freshmen that did not play and aren't ready to play right now. They will not be playing right now.
Have you ever talked to Jay Eck about Jason as a basketball player? Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not the best, but it wasn't bad. But, he's big. He had size. He had height, so he was pretty good. But
good hands?
He didn't tell me about Jason's hands.
Okay.
I do know that the Chicago X are fans of this show. All right.
Anything else?
Yep. Wrap up these questions here. We'll rapid fire the rest. Great show. Look forward to the grape tasting. Maybe y'all can get Smith's to sponsor.
Maybe we can get a sponsor.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Sponsor.
That'll figure tune in. I redshirted well over on my scouting game in college football 26. I am very much thinking about getting a console for CFP 26. I'm kind of on the cusp.
See if we get the paper to pay for it and get the story out of it.
I would
for
feel
all that sponsorship money.
I would feel a little guilty.
I lied. One more. Is there any team on the schedule like UCSB that had a AJ Mitchell? Some teams that have some talent that could be a problem. Yeah, there are a couple guys like that. And first of all, Santa Clara, by the way, is a pretty good team that's coming in December. And there's a couple teams. Maybe this weekend I'll try and come up with a list of the best non-conference like individual players that are coming to the pit this year.
JY.
What's up, JY? Jumping on quick, thank to Geoff for the outstanding interview with Commissioner Gloria Navarez of Basketball Media Day. Great job hitting on the hot topics in a professional way. I will tell you, there was one point in there where she lectured me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Geoff. She gave me a little. Now, Geoff. She didn't quite do it like
Shut
that.
the front door.
Yeah, the front door. Yeah.
If you want to see more of Grammar hitting on hot topics in a professional manner, you should tune in tonight to the. Do we have a name for it? It's just the Albuquerque
Election Night Show.
Decision night.
Yeah, we're really good. Like we call this Albuquerque Journal Sports Live.
There was a good stretch. We were like, oh yeah, we're calling it this, but we'll maybe have another name soon.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're still in that phase.
Yeah, you should tune into our election coverage tonight. Sure.
Thank you for the Gloria Navarro shout. That is on my podcast page. My podcast page being the Journal's podcast page. You can find it there, but I appreciate that. And thank you to Gloria for participating in that.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door, Grammar. Desiree Lobo 72. What's up in Las Cruces? Softball coach dismissed. New AD is MIA. I don't know about the new AD being MIA.
Yeah.
He is trying to get his feet on the ground and try and meet everybody.
New athletic director Joe Fields coming over from Tulsa.
Yeah. So I don't know. I won't comment on the AD part of it. The softball part of it, I'll comment as much as I know, which is what the heck is going on. I mean, a lot of people are still trying to figure out exactly what happened because Kathy had been there a long time, successful, popular, and to my knowledge, not ever any kind of program trouble up until something that apparently has happened that brought a parting of ways that was probably more forced than mutual.
Yes.
Aztec 2 Tacoma, what's the word on recruiting front for both basketball and football?
We kind of touched on it earlier in the show. I mean, like, what you...
Not much for basketball. They're about to start their season, so are high school teams everywhere.
Football, this is a big week. They're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I think they feel like they're in pretty good shape for the class 2026, but got to shore some things up and see what happened there. Oh, Aztec, come on.
When indeed.
I don't know. I would almost rather be surprised by it. Like walk into one of these indeed. And Fern's got a tray or something. Have
I ever mentioned that when I was a kid, I had a cat named Blueberry Muffin Grammar?
My God.
We just
told the whole story to everybody in the office last night. This is what happens in the newsroom.
Blueberry Muffin Grammar.
7 p.m. Grammar gets talking about Patches.
Patches was a mean mom.
That mean old cat.
She was a mean mama.
He's just an old ball coach, and she's just a mean old cat.
Welch is the sponsor of the Great Beat Off.
Thank you for tuning in.
Fernando Lobo hired 2 coaches in a half day.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, to be honest, Fernando Lobo, I asked him just since the UNLV win, I was like, hey, looking back, that was a pretty good first week on the job. And you got that Eck guy hired, huh? And then I said, something like, haha, I don't know if it was really your first week, but it was pretty soon. He said it was my 5th day. It was his 5th day on the job. Fernando Lobo's first 5 official days on the job, Bronco Mendenhall left, Jason Eck was hired. Pretty important first 5 days on the job for a new athletic director.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
That's all the questions. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I will ask all of you to join us later on tonight. Live.abqjournal.com. Live.abqjournal.com will take you to our election page, and you can see our live show tonight starting at 8 p.m. And you will see, also If you scroll down, all our election coverage, including stories from today with some updates on polling, that kind of stuff. You'll see all the candidate voting results on the far right. One-stop shopping for your election coverage tonight. Live.abqjournal.com. Also on the Journal YouTube page, you will see a live show with yours truly and a very knowledgeable Dan Boyd. So it won't be.
I'm worried. I'm going to get walled up. I'm scared.
It won't. There will be some good journalistic.
Boyd outclasses me.
Well, there will be some journalistic reasons to tune in, is all I'm saying. Boyd will be there. It's not just the eye candy, me. It is also some valuable journalistic stuff. Some journalistic stuff.
Things.
You tune in. Come for the good looks and stay for the great journalism that the rest of the newsroom is going to give you. Seriously, though, what this is a glimpse into the newsroom on election night. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it.
It should be a cool product. We teased it on Saturday as if I was going to be involved, and I was supposed to be involved, but I am no longer involved. Although I will be not too far.
I feel so bad for you.
I will be. I'll be around. So if you need to fill some dead air, maybe we can talk about how recruiting's going in football and basketball.
I want to tell stories about Blueberry Muffin before I call you up and talk recruiting.
Wow,
Blueberry Muffin Grammar. She was a good cat.
Wow,
such a good cat.
Patches on the other hand. Thank you everybody for tuning in as always. Bye week, man.
Talking with the two hands lifting the shirt. I can't really hit the end stream button.
Do you want me to do it?
So end stream. I hit it. Oh wait, no, I didn't. There we go.